Good, bright and beautiful Thursday, everyone. Welcome to GardenStateWeather.com, GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. I'm meteorologist Robert Smith, providing you with premium meteorology for the northern mid-Atlantic. And this is the daily video forecast discussion for this Thursday, the 14th of May, 2020. And, well, this picture here is going to light up your skies tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening with showers and thunderstorms. But today is just gorgeous. Let's get things rolling here with the active pattern that is in place here. Here comes a warm front here and a cold front, very strong cold front at that. In terms of liquid equivalent, we can already see thunderstorms developing here across the northern plains, down through Texas as well. Another active pattern with the new storm system entering the northwest. Very dry and hot air here in Florida. Again, we have a disturbance here that is going to be monitored for some kind of organization here over the next 24 hours or so. We'll get into that in a moment. And we've got a lot of divergence and diffluence here across southern Florida and the Keys with showers and thunderstorms there. And another batch of moisture heading into the Baja this morning. Here's another upper level low here in south central Canada here. And again, it's going to be warm today, back into the mid and upper 60s here in the northern mid-Atlantic with high clouds spilling over the top of the ridge here off the east coast. And then tomorrow is another story. All of this energy here is going to be moving in our direction. Latest composite radar here of the northeastern contiguous United States. Here is a cold front here in the upper Midwest here into Illinois and Indiana, getting in with showers and a squall line of showers and thunderstorms here. Warm front slipping in just to the south of this area now. Here's convection with this disturbance here off the Florida coast, which we're going to check in with the National Hurricane Center in just a moment. And more showers and thunderstorms scattered about the northern rim here of the Texas Panhandle and also through portions of southeastern Texas, Louisiana, and the Gulf. Morning surface chart from weatherroanoke.com and digital atmosphere software shows that disturbance here across and off the Florida coast here. We'll get into that in a moment. Here's our developing warm front now across the northern plains with a line of showers and thunderstorms getting in from the Great Lakes into the Missouri River Valley here. More showers and thunderstorms across Texas. And it is getting hot. Here's our high pressure ridge now centered off the mid-Atlantic coast states, pumping in a southwesterly flow, and it's going to get hot around here tomorrow. Temperatures could get into the lower 80s. We'll get into that in a moment. We'll visit records too and see if that is happening. Here's a new storm system with more chopiness here off of the western United States coast and a couple of disturbances and cold fronts here swinging back through the upper Midwest and the Rockies. Checking in with the National Hurricane Center, we do have a 40% chance of this disturbance becoming something here as of 8:30 a.m. Cloudiness, thunderstorms south of the Straits of Florida forecast to spread northeast during the next day or two. Conditions expected to become conducive for development. System likely to become a tropical or subtropical depression this weekend when it is located near the northern Bahamas. The system forecast to move generally northeast into the western Atlantic early next week. The development and the disturbance is expected to bring locally heavy rainfall, gusty winds to portions of southeastern Florida, central and northwestern Bahamas over the next couple of days. The next special tropical weather outlook on this system will be issued at 3 o'clock today. Formation chances over the next 48 hours, medium at about 40%, and during the next 5 days at 70%. National hazards today, again, a flash flood watch in effect across the plains here into Kansas and Missouri here. And some dense fog advisories here across the central plains as well. A little flooding here on the Mississippi, that's not new. And also some wind advisories here through portions of Southern California. A few spots this morning were at or below freezing. Everybody else was generally in the upper mid-30s to lower 40s. Temperatures are really rising now. They're basically into the 60s. Upper 50s in northern New Jersey and mid-60s in central and southern New Jersey. Taking a look at the latest visible satellite up close. We can do this now. We're finding a streaming of high clouds, mostly cirrus clouds now getting into southeastern New York and northwestern New Jersey. It's plenty clear here across the city, the Hudson River Valley area, Connecticut, central and southern New Jersey. A few more clouds here developing across the Del Mar, but all of this is high clouds at this moment. Dew points are looking good. They're in the 20s and 30s, making the relative humidity very delightful to be outside today. Relative humidity, let's go. Relative humidities are very dry here across the northern New Jersey. In fact, just about everywhere. This is dry. Winds this hour across New Jersey, all coming in from off the ocean out of the southeast and southerly direction here. So we've got warm air advection on the way. We took a look at the wind gusts right now. They're showing up in the 10 to 15 mile per hour range across most of the region. Checking in with the National Weather Service here across northeastern Pennsylvania, northwestern New Jersey, we have the weather outlook, the hazardous weather outlook, if this is going to show up now. And basically, we're looking for thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon. They may be accompanied by strong wind gust and some hail. Again, thunderstorms are likely, damaging wind, small hail, heavy rain, and localized flash flooding. And that is for tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. We'll get into that in a moment. We'll do the Climate Prediction Center's forecast from yesterday. Nationally here, colder weather coming into the western continent, west of the Continental Divide, warmer weather in the 6 to 10 day period from May 19th through May 23rd here across Central Plains, the southern states, near normal here in the northeast and mid-Atlantic coast states as well. 8 to 14, it gets really hot here in the eastern United States. Cools down a little bit near normal west of the Continental Divide. Cooler weather here in this Arizona and southeastern California, and warmer than normal weather here again across portions of Washington, Oregon, western Nevada, and of course most of California. As far as precipitation goes, it's going to be quite dry here between the 19th and the 23rd in the eastern United States, including the northern mid-Atlantic, and especially in areas where they're getting thunderstorms today and tomorrow. And it's going to be wetter than average here across the northern tier of the country into the northwest and escaping the immediate coast, and wetter than normal weather here across most of Texas as well. And in the 8 to 14 day, it looks like this from the 21st through the 27th. Warmer than normal average temperature, precipitation, drier than average precipitation here in the eastern United States. Pretty near normal to slightly wetter and above normal here from the northern states here all the way down to Texas. Near normal temperatures, near normal precipitation across the Intermountain West, and of course dry conditions across the West Coast. Here's our high pressure off the East Coast on the surface analysis from the Storm Prediction Center's mesoscale RAP analysis. Here's the thunderstorms associated with the cold front and the warm front here, developing here across the upper Great Lakes into Pennsylvania. We're just south of that into the Ohio River Valley. Here's our tropical or disturbance that we're monitoring for some tropical development here over the next couple of days here out in southern Florida and the straits here of southern Florida into the Bahamas. It's a cluster of thunderstorms here. Now, if we get into the convective outlook for today, of course, it's going to be busy across portions where these thunderstorms are already occurring in the line ahead of and along the warm front and cold frontal boundary here across the Ohio River Valley into the Central Plains. National fire hazards today, it's going to be elevated across areas where it's very dry, and that continues to be the case again today. And the latest precipitation, MRMS correlated or corrected gauge precipitation analysis nationally here. It's kind of wet here across the Great Lakes. Of course, these areas here in the upper plains, as a result of the warm front, cold front, showers and thunderstorms scattered about portions of Oklahoma and Texas. And here's our disturbance across the Florida Straits, which is producing a couple of inches of rain offshore. National real-time temperatures this morning are generally running in the 50s here across the northern mid-Atlantic. They're already into the 60s here now in northern New Jersey, central and southern New Jersey. They're in the 60s, 70s, and near 80 here in Florida. Excepting this area here, which is a little cloudier now because of that subtropical or disturbance that we're monitoring here. The temperatures are warm here across the central and southern plains here into the Baja of California and Mexico, into southern Colorado here, southern New Mexico, Arizona, and California. 24-hour temperature change. It's coming up this way. It's warmer than average here. It's warmer than average here, here. Cooler than average here, of course, with our cloudiness and, monitoring this subtropical disturbance here. And with the thunderstorms here, it's cooled down across the Houston Panhandle here of Florida, of Texas rather. And it's basically quite warm now across the eastern United States. And that is going to continue the trend over the next couple of days into next week. National high temperatures for the next 7 days here using the National Weather Service's digital forecast database. Temperatures in the 60s and lower 70s across portions of New Jersey for today. Again, in the upper 80s across the south, and you see the 90s and 100s. It's not showing up here, but temperatures get back into the hundreds again over here. And it warms up really nice tomorrow. Temperatures in the 80s, mid and upper 80s across Newark, Trenton, Philly, the I-95 corridor. Temperatures cooling off a little bit with that rain in southeastern Florida and cloud cover, but everybody else is warm. Southern Texas, 80s, 90s, 100s. Here in Mexico, it's not showing up, but that's exactly what it's going to be. Temperatures look about similar to that on Saturday, and nationally on Sunday. Things are really warming up, but back into the upper 60s again in New Jersey, New York City, I-95 corridor, back into the 80s and 90s across the inner plateau here of the southeast, and Florida, Texas, and of course Arizona back into the hundreds, Mexico back into the hundreds again as well. Monday, the same story. No change here. Everything looks pretty reasonable to me. When I look at the record high temperatures over the next 7 days nationally, I'm not really finding anything that really stands out. So even temperatures tomorrow in New Jersey and New York that get into the 80s here, and we'll get to that locally. I'm not seeing really any records nationally that make any kind of significant difference to anything that's ever happened in the past before. Looking at New Jersey, the Hudson River Valley down to the I-95 corridor here. Temperatures today getting back into the upper 60s and lower 70s. Tomorrow it's going to be a warm day, but not showing any records for tomorrow. Again, I don't see any. Temperatures again in the 80s, mid 80s, especially in urban areas, away from the coastal waters tomorrow. Again, away from the coastal waters tomorrow, folks. Let's pay attention here. Interior locations, yes. Coastal locations, right along the immediate barrier strand islands, the answer is no. As we get into Saturday, temperatures again in the low to the mid 70s, upper 70s, maybe a few spots that reach 80 in the urban areas here of Trenton and the I-95 corridor. That's on Saturday. That looks good. Sunday, again, temperatures in the mid 60s. And again, temperatures in the mid and upper 60s to lower 70s is not normal, actually, at this time of the year. We're supposed to be around 70, 72, 73 degrees, so cooler than average weather. If we looked at the anomalies here, this looks good. We're just a few degrees below normal today. Tomorrow, we're really about well above where we should be by about 10, 13 degrees Fahrenheit. And when we get into day 3, which is Saturday, we're a few degrees above normal, 5, maybe 8 degrees above normal. Then we cool down 4, 5, 6, 7 degrees below normal, 7 degrees below normal, 10 degrees below normal in the Hudson River Valley area on Monday. These are below normal temperatures, even though the weather looks good. Okay? Well, it may look good, but, you know, the weekend doesn't look that good after Sunday. And of course, tomorrow we have a prefrontal trough and a short wave moving through, warm front to the north tonight, and then prefrontal trough tomorrow, and then cold front. So we're going to be monitoring northeastern New Jersey, the lower Hudson River Valley area, northeastern New Jersey, northwestern New Jersey, northeastern Pennsylvania, and central and northern New York State as well for a discrete line of showers and thunderstorms. We'll get into this in a moment. This could contain some very heavy rain, some hail, some lightning, and obviously with all of this, some wind damage as well. The rest of this forecast is for the New Jersey, New York City metropolitan area. High clouds that we're using the AM model from this morning. You can see the convection now through Detroit, Chicago. This is the IR infrared imagery, which is showing the brightness of the colors of the lifting of the cloud tops here across this area from Toronto into Detroit, Chicago. We just got some high streamers right now across New Jersey, but that's going to start to fill in during the afternoon as this warm front develops and it moves into the area. And back behind this cloud cover deck that's building in late tonight and tomorrow morning with the warm front, we've got convection starting to develop ahead and along the cold front now from southeastern Canada all the way into Chicago and Milwaukee. And you know, this cloud deck is going to clear out tomorrow a little bit, and the heat is going to be on. And the cloud deck looks like it's going to break, so we could find a prefrontal trough, and then eventually, as this cold front moves in towards the area by tomorrow night, early Saturday morning, that is when things get very interesting around here for some very heavy showers and thunderstorms moving in, and then the front just dissipates and dissolves itself to the south. But we've got more energy coming in for Sunday and Monday of next week eventually. So the weekend's not a washout, but I did want to get into the composite reflectivity, which is going to show up right now. A couple of things stand out to me as I'm looking at this chart now. This convective available composite reflectivity here on Friday morning after midnight. So some of the showers and thunderstorms propagating into and ahead of the warm front here through the Hudson River Valley area into Connecticut and also into eastern Pennsylvania, parts of northwestern New Jersey and central New Jersey as well. And that warm front lifts north. Okay, and then we get a break in the action. So we're going to get a break in the cloud cover too tomorrow. But then here comes the discrete cells along the cold front. And this could be juicy by the time we get into Friday night, Friday night here into Saturday, as some of these cells could be potent with some very heavy damaging rain cells and wind damage and some hail as well. We'll take a look at the parameters in just a moment. And on the southwest flow tomorrow, here comes the precipitable water values approaching an inch and a half across the area late tonight, early tomorrow morning. These damn allergies. Once again, the precipitable water values increase into the atmosphere above 1.2, 1.6. By the time we get to Friday afternoon, we've got a lot of moisture in the air that's in water vapor that's capable of producing downpours. And by the time we get to Friday night, Saturday morning here, near midnight here, we're looking at precipitable water values approaching 1.5 to 2 inches. That means that any of these storms are capable of producing very heavy downpours across the area until that front sinks south. And by later on Saturday afternoon, everything begins to dry out. I have a nice day coming up on Saturday. And, well, this is going to all return back north by the time we get into Sunday night and Monday. So, you're going to have a break in the action Saturday and Sunday, and then all of this comes back north early next week. And through early Saturday morning here on the NAM model guidance where the cold front is located, we got a lot of precipitation, maybe 1/2 of an inch to up to an inch of precipitation in any of these areas here along the frontal boundaries, warm front, cold front boundaries. Convective available potential energy. This looks interesting to me because as we get into Friday here, especially Friday night and Saturday, we've got CAPE values of 1,500 to 2,000 joules per kilogram. This is indicative to me that some of these showers, thunderstorms, are going to be quite capable of producing very heavy downpours and possibly rotational thunderstorms as well. Bulk shear in the atmosphere. The directional and vertical wind shear here is apparent to me on Friday afternoon and Friday night here in the northern mid-Atlantic, especially the Hudson River Valley area. Some of these showers and thunderstorms could produce some gusty winds here and some spinning into the atmosphere as the heavy downpours come down in discrete cells. And we have to watch out for a linear line of showers because some of these may actually become linear. The showers and thunderstorms could propagate into or amalgamate into a linear line, and we're going to be monitoring that. I want to do one more thing this morning, look at the European model guidance as that cold front comes through on Saturday, Friday night and Saturday, stalls out, begins to come back as a warm front. Here comes the next cold front and low through Detroit and Toronto here. And that cold front on Monday afternoon, Monday morning and Monday afternoon is going to come through here. And again, this is interesting because whatever happens here off the coast of Florida now is coming up and enjoining, kind of like intermixing, amalgamating here with the surface boundary here coming in from the west here. So this looks interesting to me. Even though that most of the energy will be offshore, it's going to provide a lot of moisture over the interior sections, and this looks very interesting to me for very unsettled weather. There's another surface wave along that frontal boundary stalling out on Tuesday. This would be for Wednesday now. This is the European model guidance from last night. And it shows that, well, if this pans out, next week is not going to look too good around here at all. No. Well, you think it's wet now? It's going to get really wet around here over the next 168 hours through May 21st. Like, we need more problems. Like, we've got so many right now, and I'm already in a really foul, persnickety mood. So that's going to do it for the afternoon and morning edition here at GardenStateWeather.com, GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Meteorologist Robert Smith. You have a beautiful Thursday afternoon. And, well, I just want to say, where the hell is the money?